Welcome to the newspaper review. I am your host, Fatou George. On today's Voice newspaper headlines, BAC collects $103 million revenue in 6 months, reveals PRO. Former registrar says he forgot letters to Janneh Commission. Government urged to do more for citizens' upliftment. 2 Senegalese remanded over $1 million theft case. Now the news in details. The Brikama Area Council has accumulated $103 million revenues in 6 months across West Coast region, the council's mouthpiece revealed on Tuesday. According to Lamin Singate, the public relations officer, that is the PRO and clerk of Brikama Area Council, the $103 million revenues the council accumulated were collected from licensing fees, value property, market dues, taxes and rates of units within West Coast region. According to him, 50% of the drainage system within Brikama Central Market was fixed and business owners to effectively and efficiently do their trade. At this moment, even in the near future, I don't think the council has the money to fix drainage system for all areas, he lamented. Mr. Singate also disclosed that the council declogged drainage system along Brikama Market, claiming that as of recent, they have not registered flooding along Brikama Market compared to the past years, wherein pedestrians had to rise their clothes before crossing the main market during the rainy season. Aliu Jallo, the former registrar of companies, was forced to backtrack on Tuesday after repeatedly denying he ever wrote to the Janneh Commission or to the Chief of Defense Staff, only to later confirm the letters were indeed authorized by him. Appearing before the National Assembly Specific Select Committee probing the disposal of assets linked to former President Yahya Jammeh, Mr. Jallo was confronted with marked exhibits bearing his name and signature. The documents previously denied on the oath had in fact communicated directly with the Commission and the CDS. The National Assembly member for Nyamina Dankunkung constituency, Honorable Samba Jallo, has urged the government to do more towards citizens' upliftment. He raised concern over the general condition of life and high cost of living faced by most people in the country. Nam Jallo, who served as a member in the parliament from 2012 to 2025 and was former minority leader under ex-president Jammeh, raised the concern during an exclusive interview with the Voice newspaper held on Tuesday. According to him, there is a need for government to improve on the lives and livelihood of the citizens through better and more tangible policies. Everybody is talking about the high cost of goods and services. We need to seriously work on our economy, Honorable Jallo said. Kanifing Magistrates Court Tuesday remanded 2 Senegalese nationals on charges of theft and conspiracy to commit felony. Principal Magistrate S. Mbai sent Suleiman Jai and Mara Job to the remand wing of Mile 2 Central Prison pending their trial. The 2 were charged on 2 counts. Count 1 was conspiracy to commit a felony, contrary to Section 341 of the Criminal Offences Act 2025. While count 2 was stealing from a motor vehicle, contrary to Section 231C of the same Act. According to the court records, the incident occurred on or about 22nd July 2025 at Kairaba Avenue in the Kanifing municipality. Members of Nigeria's national female basketball team are to receive a cash reward of $100,000 each following their victory at the FIBA Women's Afrobasket Championship over the weekend in Ivory Coast. At a special reception held in honor of the team, known as Tigras, Vice President Qasim Satima also promised each player a 3-bedroom flat. Members of Tigras' coaching and technical crew were also promised $50,000 each and a flat during the reception at State House in the capital of Abuja. 2 months ago, the government finally fulfilled its 31st-year-old pledge to give houses to the 1994 Super Eagles football squad after they won the Africa Cup of Nations in Tunisia. Some members of that team, including Nigeria's all-time highest goal scorer Rashid Yekini and then captain Stefan Kessie, died before receiving the promised reward. In sports, the Gambia wrapped up her campaign in the first Africa School Games with an astonishing achievement in Algeria. Winning 12 medals at the first African School Games in Algeria was quite a surprise for a country that has had its share of struggles. The Gambia has experienced a significant surge of confidence following this win, which will help alleviate some of the difficulties and enable the country to continue feeling the pride it has always maintained. It was all history on August 4th when Sabally won silver in the men's 200-meter, but the Gambia made a continental statement after winning gold in the men's medley relay and silver in the women's medley relay. For Gambian athletes in swimming and judo, their hard work, patriotism and courage are indeed unprecedented. Crucially, the Gambia also had a talented pool of talent to back up our newfound courage for all the understandable talk. The champions of the Gambia Football Federation GFF Women's Division 1 League, Berewuleng FC, have departed the country to participate in the West Africa Football Union Women's Competition. Berewuleng FC, the team that ended RAF Scorpions FC's long-standing dominance in the women's top division, is aiming for a strong showing at the continental level. This season, Berewuleng achieved a historic double winning both the league title and the GFF Women's Federation Cup. Head coach Fakeba Sen has highlighted the significance of success on the continental stage, expressing confidence in his team, moral and mental preparedness ahead of the tournament. Representing the national colors, the Sateba girls will be looking to continue the brilliant form they showcased throughout their record-breaking domestic campaign. Moving on to the foreign newspaper headlines, government calls on farmers to report agents who inflate fertilizer price. High blood pressure affects 1 in 3 adults in the Gambia. The young man on trial for alleged homosexual conduct in Old Jundum. Magistrate strikes out Katong sand mining case. Former registrar faces scrutiny over disclosures in Jame assets probe. Gambia's finance minister takes over a chair of African or World Bank caucus. Now the news in details. High blood pressure, also known as hypertension, remains a pressing health concern in the Gambia, with approximately 1 in 3 adults suffering from the silent but potent killer, particularly affecting those aged 65 and older. Hypertension contributes significantly to cardiovascular disease, including strokes and kidney disorders. Alarmingly, many individuals remain unaware of their condition, especially men, exacerbating its prevalence in both urban and rural settings. Despite the high rates of hypertension in the Gambia, awareness and control remain woefully inadequate. Many adults, particularly those in the rural areas, are unaware of their hypertensive status, contributing to a broader public health issue. Studies indicate that while hypertension is widespread, a significant number of individuals go undiagnosed. Even among those who know their status, treatment options are scarce. The government has issued a strong warning to fertilizer agents selling above the official government price of $1,100 per bag, urging farmers across the country to report any such instances without delay. This call follows widespread reports from farming communities that while fertilizer is available for this year's cropping season, many farmers are being forced to purchase it at inflated prices, sometimes reaching as high as $1,225 per bag. Managing Director of NFPMC, Mr. Mohamed Njai, issued a clear and uncompromising warning to those who attempt to take advantage of farmers by inflating fertilizer prices. Farmers should report any agent who is selling more than $1,100, Mr. Njai emphasized. He admitted that while the NFPMC cannot monitor every location at once, it relies heavily on farmers to alert authorities when prices exceed the set limit. Magistrate has dismissed a civil case filed by the Village Development Committee VDC of Katong against a sand mining company accused of operating illegally in the coastal village. Principal Magistrate Anna O. Mendy of the Brikama Magistrates Court struck out the case on procedural grounds. In her ruling, she stated that the matter had not been properly filed before the court and must be resubmitted in accordance with the law. VDC or every person has the capacity to bring a public interest action to protect the environment, but they have to go to Ministry of Justice and to the Attorney General, Magistrate Mendy said. The Gambia's Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Honorable CDKM Keita, has assumed the chairmanship of the African caucus of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, following his participation in the 2025 meeting held in Bungay, Central African Republic. The high-level gathering, which brought together finance ministers, central bank governors, and development partners from across Africa, focused on innovative financing strategies to bridge the continent's infrastructure gap and enhance fiscal capacity for resilient, inclusive, and sustainable growth. As part of the activities of the co-host, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Governor of IMF and the World Bank for the Gambia, Honorable Sidi K.M. Keita, also participated in a panel discussion on the theme Enhancing Fiscal Capacity and Public Investment Efficiencies for Resilient Infrastructure Building in Africa. Two young men, Mohamed Jawo and Mohamed Krubali, are standing trial before Magistrate Aijalo of the Bursbi Magistrates Court, sitting at the Bundung Court premises for allegedly engaging in homosexual activity in an unfinished building in Old Yundum. Testifying as the first prosecution witness, PIU officer Momodu Sanyang told the court that on the evening of 18 July 2025, he was posted at the residence of the Minister of Interior around 9:35 p.m. He sought permission from his guard commander, Basiru Sajo, to patrol the area. While on patrol, Officer Sanyang said he observed a boy standing near a fence, appearing to watch a particular compound. He said he hid himself and observed the boy, who eventually jumped into the compound. Sanyang said he followed the boys, confronted him, and was told that two individuals had jumped into the compound before him. Upon entering the incomplete building on the property, Officer Sanyang testified that he found the second accused, Mohamed Jawo, lying on his back with his underwear removed, while the first accused, Mohamed Kurbali, was performing oral sex on him. That was the moment they jumped through the window and I arrested them. The case has been adjourned to 7th August 2025 for cross-examination by Defense Counsel K. Boja. Under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Bassirou Diomaye Faye, President of the Republic of Senegal, Prime Minister Mr. Ousmane Sonko presented the groundbreaking Senegalese Economic and Social Recovery Plan, Jubanticom, in a significant assembly in Dakar today, unveiled on Friday, August 1st. This robust structural initiative aims to rectify macroeconomic imbalances affiliating the nation and generate a dynamic environment of inclusive and sustainable growth. Highlighting the initial steps taken towards improved budgetary transparency and spending rationalization, President Faye announced the reactivation of the National Public Debt Committee. This strategic body, tasked with anticipating fiscal risks and enforcing diligent debt management, is seen as a cornerstone of the recovery effort. The Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has embarked on a significant initiative to address the escalating crisis of drug abuse and mental health disorders plaguing the region. Kicking off in Liberia on August 4, 2025, this campaign is part of ECOWAS' broader commitment to confront the alarming rise in substance abuse among the youth and vulnerable populations in West Africa. According to an official statement from the Community Parliament, the initiative will run from August 4 to 8, 2025, following similar campaigns held in Conakry, Guinea, Freetown, Sierra Leone last June. In sports, updates from the Gambia Volleyball Federation indicated that the under-18 boys continue their impressive run at the ongoing under-18 Beach Volleyball Continental Championship in Nigeria. Team Gambia defeated Ghana 2 to book a spot in the quarterfinals of the AfroSet Championship. The under-18 boys defeated host Nigeria with a 2-0 straight set win in the previous game. Meanwhile, our under-18 girls put up a brave fight but fell short against a strong Egyptian side 2-0. They now advance to the round of 12 as the battle continues. Now to the Standard newspaper headlines. Study reveals politicians, religious leaders are key perpetrators of hate speech. Minister Keita takes over chairmanship of African caucus of IMF World Bank. Roots Project records success stories among rural farmers. Turkish language era begins at UTG. Carnifin Hospital inaugurates new emergency wards. Inquiry accused ex-Registrar General of concealing info. Now the news in details. The National Human Rights Commission (NHRC) study commission in 2024, supported by UNESCO on the prevalence of hate speech in the Gambia, has revealed that politicians and religious leaders are the key perpetrators of hate speech in the country. The study discovered that victims of hate speech also cited political affiliation, ethnicity, and religious beliefs as the primary reasons they have been targeted. Speaking during the National Convergence on Combating Hate Speech at the Sadauda Kairaba Conference Center on Tuesday, Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, chairperson of the NHRC, said the dangers of hate speech and its impacts are far from theoretical. Hate speech isn't just an abstract concept, its consequences can be truly devastating, he said. Chairman Diouf highlighted that hate speech fuels violence by dehumanizing groups based on religion and other things, and that it thrives on ignorance and misrepresentation, and if unchecked, it can tear apart the fabric of society. The heavy downpour on Saturday, August 2nd, almost brought the new OIC feeder roads to a standstill, with waterlogging and flooding causing chaos for drivers. The OIC feeder roads, a project that focuses on constructing new roads and upgrading existing ones within the Greater Banjul area, includes 50 kilometers of 20 new feeder roads and a modern dual carriageway from the airport junction in Yundum to Sting Corner, Battle Hardin Highway. Alkali Barrow, a driver who regularly uses the feeder roads, narrated his ordeal. On that evening, I was hired from Bundung to Kirsering, but there was so much water on these roads that I got one of my tires damaged. Since these roads are new, I wonder why there was so much flood. He attributed the flooding to poor drainage system, noting that the stagnant waters showed a lack of proper drainage. In a significant milestone for the country's healthcare sector, the Ministry of Health on Tuesday officially inaugurated a new constructed accident and emergency ward worth $4.3 million at the Kanifing General Hospital. The inauguration ceremony held at the hospital premises was presided over by the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Samate, and attended by Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Basiru Drame, and a host of dignitaries. Minister Samate described the commissioning of the ward as a timely intervention to address the growing demand for emergency medical care in urban areas. This facility marks a new chapter in our efforts to decentralize and upgrade health services. Emergency care is not a luxury, it is necessity, and this ward will serve as a front line for saving lives, said Dr. Samate. According to the hospital management, the facility will also reduce the burden on existing departments and spread a medical response time in emergency situations. With the facility now operational, patients requiring urgent medical attention at Kanifing General Hospital can expect faster, safer, and more dignified services. This is all we have for you in our today's newspaper review. Do stay tuned with us for more newspaper review, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. I remain your host, Fatou George.